Spurgeon here with RevZilla, and today we're going to take a look at the Joe Rocket Meta X jacket available at RevZilla.com. So in Joe Rocket's lineup, the Meta X is going to be a hybrid. What we're seeing here is a combination of leather as well as mesh. And this is going to be 2-3 season functionality, warm weather. And really what we're seeing here is we're going to have the protection of leather in your impact zones with giant mesh channels to promote airflow. So for those of you that want the protection of leather in the warmer, hotter months of the year, you still want to be able to be comfortable. That's what this is going to give you. So you have all that mesh to promote airflow, but again, in those impact zones, you have full leather construction. So that's where the Joe Rocket Meta X is going to fit in when you're looking at their entire lineup. Now, sizing for this is going to be very much in line with Joe Rocket. Traditionally speaking, Joe Rocket is more of a generous cut, an American brand, and what we have on our left-hand side is a man named Patrick. Pat stands at 6 foot. He weighs 230 pounds and he has a 46-inch chest. We have him in a size 46 and you're going to see it fits him spot on. Now, quick note, for sizing on this is American sized. So 46 correlates with Pat's chest size. This is not going to be a Euro size. So just keep that in mind. Utilize Joe Rocket's size chart, go with what they recommend, and you should have no surprises here. Sizes are going to range from a 40 up to a 52, and just so you know, a size 50 to 52 gets a price bump. So the jacket comes in around $315 unless you need the larger two sizes, and then it bumps up to about $330. Colorways are going to be very simple for you to choose from because there's just one. It's the black and white option that Pat is wearing on the left-hand side. And like I said, this is going to be that hybrid in Joe Rocket's lineup. This is for you sport riders that want something that has more of a sporty look, that gives you the protection of leather, but also incorporates mesh to give you a max amount of airflow. If you want to take a step up, you want full leather protection, you can take a look at the Hyperdrive. Now the Hyperdrive does have a perf and a non-perf version, so if you're looking for something to give you maximum ventilation but with full leather construction, look at the Hyperdrive perf version. Now, quick note there, make sure to pay attention on the Hyperdrive sizing because the sizing for the Hyperdrive is going to be a little bit different than the Meta X. So just make sure to check out that video for the sizing recommendations if you consider bumping up to the Hyperdrive. Breaking down the Meta X, what we're going to start with is the full leather construction that you're going to see working its way from the collar, down the shoulders, down the exterior of the arms. This is a 1.1 to 1.3 top grain cowhide. And then you're also going to have impact armor. It's a proprietary armor from Joe Rocket, CE protection at the shoulders, at the elbows, slight pre-curve to the sleeve. And then when we get down to the cuff on this, you are going to have neoprene on the outside of the cuff, which does add for a comfort factor. And you'll also notice that the cuffs on this, the sleeves, are going to be a little bit longer than what we've seen with some of the other jackets out there. It's not going to be as long as what we're seeing with the Hyperdrive, but there is a little bit of extra length here. So if your arms are a little bit longer, this is going to be one for you to consider. And then if we just roll this over, there's going to be a Velcro closure on top of a zip entry for this. And you're going to see it's going to be a full split cuff design. So you're not going to have any kind of a gusset in this particular jacket. Personally, I like that because I like to roll my sleeves up a little bit to help to promote airflow there. And then on the inside of this, you are going to have a stretch material, which is just a stretch textile, which adds for comfort, and it's going to add for mobility. So it just helps to articulate the fit of the arms a little bit better, while still maintaining comfort with all that protection of the leather coming from the outside. You're going to set the arm down. Working our way down the chest, you are going to have just a Velcro closure underneath that magnificent beard. And then you just have one clean line working on the front, a little bit of the Rocket branding on the right side chest, and then dual hand warmer pockets with YKK zips, and there are going to be leather pulls there. So if you have a pair of gloves on, you can still actuate the zippers very easily, even while wearing gloves. But it's really those massive nylon mesh panels on the front of this, which is going to set it apart. Again, it's that massive amount of airflow you get with this particular jacket. Mr. McHugh, face sideways for me through the hand in the rider position. Again, slight pre-curve to the sleeve. You will notice massive amount of accordion stretch at the back of the shoulders, the back of the elbows, just helping with that range of motion. If you are in more of that full tuck position, it just helps to just give you that range where you don't feel like you're being kind of stuck upright. So you can use this in a variety of different bikes. Think upright, sport touring FJR style, or you can be a little bit more tucked down, CBR 600 style. So there's a lot of variety here with the, features and functionality you can use depending on the bike you have in your garage. Working our way down, you do have 3-position snap adjuster on either side. Each snap is about 1 inch apart, so you're looking at anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of adjustment on either side of the jacket for 2 to 4 inches of adjustment total if you're using both sides. Sir, you may go ahead and face backwards for me. Again, with those accordion stretch panels down both sides of the shoulder blades, you do have the R for the Joe Rocket, which is going to be black on black stitched into the back of this massive, again, nylon mesh material. But you can see, much like we had in the front, the back is going to be full nylon mesh. Max amount of airflow with that leather protection coming in on the sides where you need it. One thing to note here, this is just a back pad. So across Joe Rocket's line, you're going to get this, you put it on, you think, man, that's great, they gave me a back protector. It's not a back protector, it's a pad. Take it out, get rid of it. Make sure you go ahead and you throw a full CE rated back protector in here. You've got CE protection in the shoulders, on the elbows. Make sure your back is protected as well. It's a Knox TP2 style, which means that both Force Field and Revit will have a back protector that'll fit right in here. There is going to be a short connection zipper, so you can match this up with a pair of pants. If you're looking in Joe Rocket's lineup, you could do something like the Phoenix Ion, which is going to be a mesh pant that would work with this for summer riding, or you could do the perforated stealth pants, which would work for more of a sport option to match this jacket together. Now, the one nitpick I have here, and actually, Pat, go ahead and face forward for me, and go ahead and on-snap, and on Velcro rather, and on-zip, and just hold that right side open. If you notice, there's not going to be any belt loop connections down at the bottom. So because I could see a lot of riders using this with a pair of just riding jeans in the summer months, I would have loved to have seen a belt loop connection down there in addition to that zipper connection. So maybe for the next iteration, we can just get some belt loop connections at the bottom of this. Napoleon pocket on the left-hand side, and hold that right side open for me. What you'll notice is there is going to be a thermal vest liner in this, and that's where that 3-season functionality comes into play. Really think of this as just something to block the wind as you get into the earlier spring or later fall. This really isn't going to do to provide much warmth, but it will block a little bit of the wind, will provide some warmth, you know, as those summer nights begin to get a little bit cooler, and as you use the jacket a little bit further into the later fall months. You are probably going to want to step away from this as you travel even into the full winter months because, like I said, with all that mesh in the front, you can layer up as much as you want, but there's still a massive amount of air pushing through. Sir, you may go ahead and zip the jacket up. So for riders out there that are looking for and like the idea of leather protection, but you either live in an area where the majority of the time it's going to be a hotter climate, or you simply spend most of your time riding in the summer months, this is definitely an option for you to consider from Joe Rocket. Now, there's a lot of riders out there that are already utilizing Joe Rocket products on their motorcycles, and if you want to hear more about what they have to say, all you have to do is click the info button on your desktop or mobile device, which will allow you to read other rider reviews from folks that are already out there using this jacket. If you have more questions for one of our gear geeks, give them a shout, 877-792-9455, or simply shoot us an email, cs@RevZilla.com. Thank you for joining us for this look at the Joe Rocket Meta X jacket. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.